before now. Oh, look at this. Look, you can see real battling going on here. Oh, well, there will be investigation. Deserving winner there. Good evening, everyone, and welcome back to SynergyPWR, People's World Racing, and we are here in Bahrain for the Season 2 race of 2018. We've seen some extraordinary qualification and some amazing times set right at the bitter end. It really has been quite something. If the qualifying reflects anything what the race is going to be like, it's going to be pretty interesting, I think, Adrian, isn't it?
It's going to be fantastic. Looking forward to that. It's definitely looking really close, especially the sort of front 4 or 5. Yeah, it could go anyway.
It could certainly go anyway. I mean, we saw, obviously, the Williams of Tom, 1, 2, 3 and NW Noel early on set, basically lock out the front row. Then we saw the Hasses down there. Then we saw the Hasses split the Williams. Then we saw ITFN Mulan put in a blinding time right at the knockings. He hadn't set any times before. And then all of a sudden, Tom pips him to the post.
Left it late, didn't he, Mulan, to set his lap.
He left it very late.
Edge of our seats. and then Tom just takes it away within sort of 30 seconds later.
A matter of seconds, I think. I think it was about 10 seconds. Tom had taken it away from him. So let's run through our runners and riders. So we go on board. Here we are with Tom, 1, 2, 3. He'll be in the Williams. P1 alongside him will be Mulan in a Mercedes. Behind them will be Sean Gregory and Johan, the Haas drivers. Row 3, NW Noel, that's Tom's teammate, will be in 5. War Zyron in a Ferrari will be alongside him. Rose Millhouse in the Renault, he'll be in P7. Orbit Nations Ferrari will be alongside him. CG Swift in the Mercedes, teammate to Mulan, will be in P9. Born Echoes, Renault, teammate to Rose Millhouse, he's in P10. Rewind in the McLaren, P11. Hypernova in the Sauber, P12. And Silver Surfer bringing up the rear in the Red Bull. I don't expect to see Silver there too long, but we will see what happens.
No. Well, I don't expect any of those drivers in the bottom 3 there to be in the bottom 3 come the end of this race.
Certainly not. We've got some quality drivers, undoubtedly, that are there. And it's going to be very, very interesting to see how this actually pans out during the course of the race. 29 laps. It is a 50% race. So it's going to be hard going. The interesting thing here is going to be see what tyres the guys are going to be starting on. So we can see that Tom's on a set of softs, but Mulan is on a set of super softs, as is Sean Gregory. And then Johan's on a set of softs, and then the only others on softs are Hypernova and Silver Surfer at the back. Now that immediately suggests to me that Tom and Johan are looking to go deep into this race.
Yeah, they're looking at the one stop, I think. I think some of the super drivers might try the one stop anyway. I wouldn't do it myself, but they may give it a go.
Final driver coming on the grid now, Silver Surfer. They're all ready to go. The lights will be lighting up now. We'll soon be underway, and they are off for the start of this SynergyPWR Bahrain Grand Prix. And we can see Tom maintaining his lead, as is Mulan. Sean Gregory coming in, and they're all lined abreast here as they come into turn 1. And Mulan sneaks ahead. Tom there. Tom now drops in behind Mulan. He takes it. NW Noel's dropped in behind Tom. His teammate Sean Gregory has dropped on the 4th place. Orbit 5. War Zyron now 5. Johan 6.
Rose has gone.
Orbit Nations comes off the track here. Orbit Nations lost it round turn 2. Definite wing damage there on the front of this Ferrari. Hypernova in the Sauber now, fighting his way through this crowd as EG Swift and Rewind. Silver Surfer has also moved up into 10th place. Oh, and they're coming round this final set of corners. They're side by side as they're coming round turn 12 into 13 now. And look at this, CG Swift gets ahead of the Sauber there of Hypernova. Great move through there. Siren in a Ferrari. He's P5 at this moment in time. He's closing in on the back of Sean Gregory in the Haas. Both these cars obviously with Ferrari engines. Ferrari's certainly something to prove. They don't want to be finishing behind their team compatriots or their second team effectively of Haas. Coming down to turn 1. Hypernova now challenging into turn 1. Can he get ahead of CG Swift? And he does. This battle is not ended between these two, certainly, between the Sauber and the Mercedes driver here. And we can see CG Swift looking alongside him now. Sean Gregory now alongside his teammate
very
Johan.
close.
They are so close, definite contact there. Oh, and they're coming around turn 8. Winding up towards turn 9 now. Turn 10 is going to be the critical one. They've got the DRS, remember, when they come round that corner. Can he get past his teammate? Can Sean Gregory make the move? Or is he happy to sit there? He certainly doesn't look like he's happy to sit behind him. He is on a better set of tyres, obviously on the Super Softs. Takes the advantage. Look at that. Nicely done into turn 11 there. They wind up round 12 and 13. And Sean Gregory moves ahead of his teammate. So let's have a quick look now and see where Hypernova is. He's still fighting out with CG Swift. He's only 2/10 of a second off the back of that Ferrari.
Hypernova actually
Can
going
he
4
do
places.
something as they come down to this final turn 14? Round 15. Remember, he's going to have DRS when he gets onto this straight. Can he make it count into that first turn 1? It's a critical overtaking point. Oh. No, they don't have DRS because they're only on lap 3 now, so they will have it on the next lap.
Not a good start from the
great
Haas
show
drivers.
here from Hypernova on that set of softs, isn't it, OG? I mean, he really is challenging that Mercedes CG Swift.
Yeah, he's pushing really well. Pushing hard. I think Hypernova has gained 4 places, 2 more than anyone else.
Moulin's moved up 1, as we know. Tom's moved down 1. Then W. Knowles moved up 2, as was Zyron. Sean Gregory and Johan, the Haas drivers, are definitely the losers there because they've let through NW Knoll and Williams and Zyron in the Ferrari. That's where the issues have come in. So we have Moulin in the lead now. Tom 1.5 seconds behind him. NW Knoll 2.5 seconds behind Tom. Sean Gregory, Johan. There's a fight going on there between these two, and look at that. Sean Gregory is all over the back of Zyron there as he comes through. Can he take him?
Oh, contact.
Can he take him? Oh,
yeah,
contact,
definite contact
and
there.
Johan jumps ahead. What a great result there. Coming around turn 14, Sean Gregory is charging through, trying to take Zyron. They have a little hit of tyres. Who takes advantage? Johan in the Haas. His teammate moves ahead of him, and he's still battling out now with Zyron. Oh, and again, and again. Clash of tyres there between these two as they come alongside each other now. Sean Gregory takes the turn, gets ahead of Zyron. I'm not too sure if War didn't actually let him through there. Yeah, Zyron has front wing damage, so clearly he wasn't much he could do against Sean Gregory. CG Swift now in the Mercedes closing in on the back of Zyron. They're coming round to turn 10. This is where he can make it count now. He's got DRS. Oh, he went wide there. Didn't take full advantage. Zyron just pulls out ahead of him. Hypernova now challenging CG Swift. As they're coming around turn 12 into 13. So tricky, the braking point here as you come into turn 13. You've got to get it measured. Can he take the Sauber, make the move on this Mercedes? They're side by side now. as they're approaching turn 14. Literally, Mercedes just pulling out ahead, but I think ZG may have the advantage into turn 14 and 15. Can he make it as he gets ahead of the ZG? ZG goes into the pits.
Yeah, ZG Swift wanting to repair that damage.
Yeah, definitely got War Siren and ZG Swift. Rewind has just overtaken the Renault of Bourne Echoes, and now he's looking to try and respond back. Can he do that as they come to turn 4 now?
Rewind's actually the only driver on medium tyres.
Yes, interesting move there. Let's have a quick look at that. So, Bourne Echoes maintains 8th place. Rewind is in 7th place. I mean, how deep can Rewind go on those mediums?
Well, it's actually employing the same strategy I did. By starting on the medium tyres, we did have a safety car, which did help. I was able to reach end of lap 20. Those tyres are only expected to do about 16, 17 laps under normal racing conditions. But yeah, I went from the mediums to the super stuff for the last 9.
Rewind really having to defend against that Renault there at Bourne Echoes, because Bourne Echoes clearly should have the better pace on that fresher set of super softs. But he's coming into the pits as well now, so Bourne Echoes into the pits, releases Rewind, so Rewind comfortably in P7 at this moment in time. You said you went deep into the 20s, obviously bearing in mind that I doubt Rewind will be running a lower, well, he could be running a lower fuel, I'm not too sure, but certainly he's putting in some hard laps on those tyres. I can't see him going too deep into the 20s.
No, we'll see. He may opt for the medium to soft strategy, which is probably one of the more favoured strategies on this track. I know some of the drivers like to do the soft to medium. So we have to wait and see what he does.
Well, there's so many ways or connotations you can go with this. Obviously, you know, going with a medium tyre or a soft tyre at the start gives you a longer stint. If you then go on to soft, super softs, you've got a lighter fuel load, so you should be able to get better speed through. But equally, or conversely, you can say the same the other way around. If you start on the super softs, you carry more weight, but you can certainly go faster. And then when you go onto the softs, as you said earlier, the softs are good tyres that last well, and there's not a great deal of performance difference between the two, is there?
That's right. It's all about that, getting that right balance between the time that you can gain on the faster tyres to the time that you'll lose come the end of their life.
Let's have a quick look at War Siren. So War Siren pitted in, he had nose damage on that Ferrari. He's closing in on the back of Bourne Echoes now in the Renault. He's only 6/10 off the back of him, and he is definitely looking to be making a move, I think, if not this lap, certainly the next lap.
I'll tell you who's not at the back of the pack anymore, who started right at the back, was Silver Surfer. He's up to 8th place, and he's pitted. I think he had a bit of an incident in the first sector on the first lap.
Yeah, he did. He did manage to get up to P10, but he did have damage with a collision. Not too sure who that was with. And yes, War Siren makes the move on Bourne Echoes now. So War Siren moves up to 9th place. Overtakes the Renault of Bourne Echoes. Now zoning in on the driver we were just referring to, Silver Surfer. Silver Surfer, remember, started down in P13, so he's moved up 3 places already. Sorry, what am I saying? 5 places.
Orbit Nations. Orbit's gone. Middle of sector 2.
Orbit has gone. See if we've got anyone in last in sector 2 there.
We had a number of retirements in sector 2, just that sort of sweeping fast right-hander. If you clip the rumble strip on the inside, it just loses the back end so easily. Do wonder if it was there.
It is. Wow, it is so difficult as you're coming through those turns.
And the other Ferrari
Born Echo's
as well.
5-second stop go for a severe collision with War Siren. That was obviously earlier on.
Yeah, no, that was just now, I think, because I've just seen War Siren and the other Ferrari parked at the side of the track, so there must have been a collision there that we perhaps didn't see. And yeah, Born Echo's coming into the pit to repair whatever damage he got.
Yeah, Born Echo's in the pit. Silver Surfer dropped down to P9. Oh, and he's really under pressure. Putting the pressure on ZG Swift now.
Certainly is.
Silver Surfer certainly with something to prove in this race.
Yeah, just while we stay with Silver, just want to make a note that Tom, he's still with Mulan at the front of the pack here, despite Mulan being on the soft tyre. Just making it very difficult for him to sort of get away.
Is Mulan defending?
Oh, and Mulan's actually come in.
Mulan is into the pits. Tom takes the race lead now.
He's gone for the medium tyres as Mulan, so that's going to be it for his pit stops essentially.
It's a risky
interesting
move.
to see what interesting to see what his last few laps times will be like on those.
Well, Tom needs to get ahead of him, and let's quickly switch to Tom now.
Yeah, Tom will need to put some fast laps
in. If he can actually get ahead. He's on 8 now on those softs. What do you think? About another 3 or 4 laps, maybe?
Yeah, quite easily. Depending on what his time management's like, he could probably go a little bit further than that, I'd imagine.
Well, at this moment in time, we have the Williams in P1 of Tom. His teammate, NW Noel, is in P2. Johan in the Haas is in P3. Hypernova in the Ferrari is in P4. Mulan in the Mercedes, he's up in 5. Rewind in the McLaren behind him.
Yeah,
Sean Gregory. Rewind is...
Yeah, he's just behind Mulan, isn't he?
He's only 5/10 off the back of him there.
I think it was important for Mulan to get out ahead of Rewind, bearing in mind Rewind's on sort of oldish mediums.
Well, they're 8 laps in. We are obviously on lap 10. We're about a third of the way through this race. It certainly has been as we expected. Quite a challenging start. We've seen Orbit Nations in the Ferrari. He went out. Rose Millhouse, Renault driver, also out. So we have 2 DNFs. Still racing, 11 drivers. So Sean Gregory's not going to be too happy. I mean, he's down in P7. He has obviously done a pit change. He's gone on to a set of softs, 2 laps, but he's still going to have to pit again on those softs, isn't he?
Yes, most definitely, yeah.
Rewind doesn't look as if he's closing in on Mulan. Mulan seems to be pulling out ahead of him at this moment in time.
I wonder whether Rewind's target is not actually to overtake Mulan, but just to sort of stay behind him until Mulan's tyres wear out. Oh, well, saying that, Rewind's going to have to pit anyway, so he's not effectively racing him for position as such.
Not at this moment in time. I mean, it's all a question of if Rewind takes it smoothly, keeps behind him, we are confident that Mulan will be going to the end of this race on those mediums. The question here is, can Rewind go to the end? Because he's done 8 laps. He would have done 26 laps on a set of mediums. Is that, I suppose it's possible.
Yeah, it's possible, but illegal because he started on the mediums. So he hasn't actually changed his
right, of
time.
course, so he'll have to come in and do a pit change. So
yeah.
Chances are he's probably going to come in and go on to a set of super softs.
Yeah,
probably round about the mid-20s.
Yeah, early to mid-20s.
So at this moment in time, Rewind is in 4th place in the McLaren. NW Knoll in the Williams is in 5th. Sean Gregory in the Haas is down in 6th place. Johan, his teammate, is in 7th. Both cars have pitted. Johan has also just come out of the pits. He's gone to a set of mediums as well. So clearly we've seen, really, most of these drivers have gone super soft and then they've gone to the mediums. The soft riders are still out there. Those that haven't had damage and come in, that is.
Yeah, you are right. We've got Moulin, who started on the supers and is now on mediums, and Noel started on supers and is on the mediums. Johan actually started on softs and is on the mediums, which is, as I say, I think, in my eyes anyway, the more favoured strategy.
Yeah, definitely. So ZG Swift for Mercedes. He's down in P8. Warziren in the Ferrari, he's P9. Silver Surfer dropped back down to P10 now. Born Echoes in the Renault is P11. All pretty much straightened out. There's not a great deal of challenge going on. Tom's really built up a hell of a lead here. I mean, he's 17 seconds ahead of Hypernova. But more importantly, it's really where he sits with regards to Moulin, because he's a whole pit window ahead of Moulin, and that's critical.
Yeah, that is, yeah. I mean, what can you say? It's only Moulin and possibly Sean that he is racing in that bunch. But he'll want to get as far away from Moulin as possible. He is actually
certainly
putting
needs
some
to
good
open up
laps in
that
right
gap.
now.
He's got 23 seconds just under between himself and Moulin. That clearly is a pit win. I believe the pit here is round about 20 seconds. It's a pretty nice pit entry and exit.
Yeah, 22 at my last count.
Yep. And Tom is coming in.
Tom in.
Got that window.
In the pit.
Now, this is going to be where it's going to be critical. Tom is in. Let's go with Moulin now. Moulin coming up to turn 14. Tom coming out of the pits now.
Tom ever stop go? That's just a glitch. I think it's glitched.
He's coming out. He will come out ahead.
Go on, he just.
No, he come out ahead. Is he ahead?
Yeah, he is just about.
Yes, only just. Look at that. 0.3 of a second between them. And Moulin is going to be champing at the bit because he wants to get past this Tom in this Williams ASAP.
Yeah, Moulin's just got to be careful not to lose his cool. He is all over the back of Tom as Tom's tyres are not actually quite warmed up yet.
They're coming round down to turn 8. This is going to be the one where Moulin can make the move. He's alongside him as they're coming out to turn 9. Tom, the advantage is on the inside. Oh, and a collision there!
Rewind.
Moulin goes into the back of Tom. Moulin, I'm sure, has got front wing damage.
Yeah,
I don't think there's any damages to Tom's car. He went into this back tyre there.
Definitely saw Moulin's wing fly across the track.
Yeah,
that's unfortunate.
And Tom takes first place back. That means that Moulin is going to have to pit.
Yeah, you won't want to do 17 laps with no front wing around Bahrain.
Well, and now that is really going to put the cat amongst the pigeons. Because by my calculations, he's likely to drop down to 8th place. Possibly 9.
To be fair, Moulin's staying out. He obviously doesn't feel the damage is affecting him too much, or not as much as a pit stop would.
Well, we're about halfway through this race now. Moulin makes critical error by going into the back wheel of Tom. He's got front wing damage. He's got Rewind, who's definitely closing the gap down behind him now in the McLaren.
Yeah, bearing in mind, Rewind started this
3
race.
seconds.
He started this race P11. He's now finding himself in a possible battle for P2, although he does still need to pit, as we said.
Well, this is the point. I mean, he's got to put in some fast laps, because if he doesn't, he is going to come in, well, very close, if not behind, War's Iron. This is a critical part of the race now, because if Moulin doesn't start to open up that gap, and Rewind, he's already taken 4/10 out of him in about half a lap, needs to make that call, and he needs to make it very, very soon indeed. What is he going to do?
Yeah, must be all sorts of things going through his head right now.
So difficult, because what do you do? I mean, look at him now. Rewind is all over the back of him. He's got DRS if he comes into the start-finish straight. Moulin is staying out. He lets Rewind past him, because he's more interested now with Sean Gregory.
Tactical overtake there.
Sean Gregory already making the move, nice and easy before he gets to turn 1.
Oh, Rewind gone wide.
Rewind goes wide out of turn 1. Let Sean Gregory through. Sean Gregory moves up into 2nd place. Moulin is back in 3rd place. But Rewind closing on the back. And Moulin's going to have to come in at the end of this lap, isn't he? He just cannot stay out there any longer if he wants to hold any sort of decent position. He needs to go in pit, get out ASAP.
I know, you know, racing with Moulin a few times on track, I know, and seeing him in these races, I know he's quite stubborn when it comes to committing to making a repair.
It is such a difficult call to make, though, when you're out on track.
Yeah, certainly.
You know that you're going to lose a lot of positions, but I would say better to drop down to that position halfway through the race than when you're 3/4 of the way through it.
Yeah. Yeah, at least you give yourself a fighting chance, don't you? Oh, and that dirty air from Rewind.
Going so wide, he's in the dirty air there, got no grip.
Yeah, this just makes it so difficult.
He's now got NW Knoll closing in, bearing down on him. He's going to have to come in. Come in now, Moulin. It makes sense.
Yeah, he's giving in. I feel bad. I do feel bad for him.
The pits.
It was a genuine fight, wasn't it, for first place?
You know,
between Moulin and
the thing
Tom.
was, you know, it was critical that Tom had to come out ahead of Moulin. He did by only 3/10. I mean, it was so close. And then we saw, obviously, Rewind have a little bit of a dodgy moment. But Tom managed to get ahead of him. And obviously, as he was trying to fight back Moulin, he just misjudged it and went into the back and damaged his front wing. I don't think there was any malice in it. I think it was just, you know, badly timed.
Yeah, quite right. I just think just pause there, because just say a rewind. A Renault reversing gone off on the sort of penultimate corner. It was the Born Echoes, but they're in P11.
NW Knoll now closing in on the back of Rewind. So they come in the winding sector of 11 and 12 down to 13 now. Last but one corner, and it looks to me as NW Knoll is going to look to make the move on Rewind on that start-finish straight.
Yeah, these two drivers, former teammates, of course, that Williams last season.
And Rewind going into the pits.
Yep.
Releases NW Knoll.
Got to go on to... could go either way. I myself would go softs.
Now this is looking very interesting here, because we've got Johan. He's certainly not out of the mix there. Johan's down in 4th place, teammate to Sean Gregory in a Haas. He's on a set of mediums, clearly taken to the end of the race. He's got 6 laps on those.
Yep.
I think that Johan is looking at a podium finish here. Sean Gregory, obviously, he will still need to pit. He is provisional P2 at this moment in time. He will need to pit, and I think that will release Knoll.
Could, in theory, be a
Johan.
Williams 1-2.
It's certainly looking that way at this moment in time, and clearly Tom, he's got a convincing lead there. He's 9 seconds ahead of Sean Gregory. about 15 seconds just about ahead of his teammate NW Knoll. He is on a set of mediums. They will take him to the end of this race. It's his to lose at this moment in time.
Yeah. Just going back to that incident with the front two runners, Tom and at the time Moulin, yeah, which would have been nice to see Moulin put Tom under a bit of pressure for a couple of laps just to see how he would react.
Well, I think he was in the window with those mediums because he had 9 laps on Tom's new set of mediums, and they were clearly much better performing. And I think he would have got ahead of Tom, which would have made for a very, very interesting final half of this race.
Yeah, and to be fair, even if he hadn't got ahead, even if he was just sort of right behind him, that's sometimes enough to put him off to make the mistake to make the pass.
Absolutely. I mean, this is another thing for those of you that are players. It's what, you know, time trial is one thing, being out on track with a clear track is one thing. It's a completely different kettle of fish when you've got other runners and riders on the track. It really just, well, you've got to be so aware of what people are doing ahead of you and behind you.
Yeah, and it does put added pressure on when the races are streamed as well. You know that other people are watching. It's a league race. You know, there's that element to it, and yeah, it gets to me, I have to admit.
Well, I think as it would with anyone, if you know you're being watched.
I always want to perform on when there are viewers.
Well, Tom, convincing lead now. Sean Gregory looking comfortable in second, but he's going to have to pit. That is definitely going to release NW Knoll into second place, and Johan into that provisional third place on the podium. But he is challenging. He's only just under a second now behind NW Knoll.
Yeah.
And their tyres are even. They're both on mediums, both got 8 laps on them, so we could even see Johan looking to challenge. And I did say Johan for pole. I know he's fast. He's going to be obviously a lot lighter now. We could well be seeing Johan challenging for that second place very, very soon indeed.
Yeah, definitely. Johan, he's not been with us very long. He's new to Synergy for this season. This is his second Grand Prix. He seems to be one of those drivers who are always there. You know, always up there in the mix, waiting for something to happen ahead for him to then capitalise on. Yeah, it could be one to watch through the sort of later stages of the season. Be interesting to see sort of where he stands.
Well, certainly in Division 1, there's no two ways about it. They've been doing very well. I mean, at this moment in time, Force India are heading the Constructors' Championship with 25 points. Ferrari second with 18, and Williams are third with 16. But interestingly, Haas are fourth on 15 points.
Yeah,
so,
and all 15
valuable
of those,
points here for Williams.
All 15 of those
Equally.
points.
Yeah. And NW Knoll, yep, Sean Gregory goes into the pits. NW Knoll moves up into second. Johan moves up to third. Now, the interesting thing here is going to be, where is Sean Gregory going to come out? He will come out in 5th place. Rewind is about 30 seconds behind him. He will then have 35
Rewind.
seconds.
I think Rewind has the opportunity to make the pass on Sean in the later stages of this race. He's come out, 6 seconds behind Sean. So on the softer tyre, you know he's got the pace to do it. It'll be interesting come last few laps. He'll be fighting for that 5th, maybe even 4th place.
Born Echoes in the Ferrari. Born Echoes in the Renault picks up a 3-second time penalty there. He is at the bottom of the pack at this moment in time, and Silver Surfer still sitting there in 10. He's just not able to move out of there. He's 12 seconds behind Wars, Iron and Ferrari. I can't really see, not an awful lot he can do there now, is there?
I think he's had a few pit stops as well as our Silver Surfer.
I think he's on 3.
Yeah, stopped 3 times.
Oh, look at this, Johan. As we said, challenging NW Knoll now. He's got the DRS. Can he make something of this into turn one? He's right up behind the gearbox of NW Knoll as they come into turn one now. Takes the inside, the winding turns of 2 and 3 as you build up speed and momentum. Now this is going to be the one, turn 4. He has got the line for turn 4. Can he make it stick? Oh, look at this, NW Knoll noses out in front of him there.
This is pure racing. Both these tyres on the same tyres and the same age tyres as well, so fair fight.
Round 8 now, winding it up into turn 9. It's going to be the hard break into turn 10. And then we will have DRS. Will Johan be able to stay behind? Coming through turn 11. Winding it up, 12. Round 13. This is the critical braking point now into 13. So close.
Again, it's as much about putting pressure on the driver as it is actually overtaking him.
Absolutely, because you want him to make a mistake. Hopefully, one that won't wipe you out as well. They're coming on the start-finish straight. He's definitely got the DRS now. He's 2/10 off the back of NW Knoll. Moves out to make the move into turn 1. Yes.
Yeah, Knoll's
nicely
DRS
done.
died.
Yeah, nicely done. Now he needs to take full advantage. Pull out a gap now. Great move, nice move. I think Johan really did pace himself there. He had the opportunity in lap 20 to make the move into 21 as they're coming down the start finish straight. With his time really, he just timed it nicely, didn't he? Just, oh no, I'll get a little bit closer.
Poor Silver Surfer, he's spun it on that dreaded sweeping right. I hate that corner. It always catches me out. It's that curve on the inside. As soon as you touch it, that's it.
Is that on turn 13 as you come in the final sector? Yeah, it's so hard. You just only have to touch that, and as soon as you brake, you're off.
I'll tell you who we haven't spoken about much in this space. The man in 4th, a very underrated driver. Ivanova is not. I haven't seen him do a thing wrong.
No, he hasn't.
Again,
and he's always a
pick up,
solid driver.
He's going to pick up a nice 12 points. He's got sort of no one in front of him, no one behind him. If he could just keep his head, and just not make any mistakes, he'll take that. I think he'll be very happy with that as well.
Keep his head when all around him are losing theirs.
He started near the back, didn't he? So it's about 12th place.
Yeah, and well, Sauber again. I mean, it's really close between in the constructors, Sauber, Haas, and Williams. There's only 4 points between Sauber and Williams.
Yep,
3 points between them and a Haas. So, yeah, and he's going to be picking up some valuable points. Williams clearly, at this moment in time, going to be making full advantage. We don't have any of the Force Indias, unfortunately, driving this evening. Lucas or Born F1.
It's an interesting point, actually. Yeah, Lucas won the last race. He's actually leading the championship at the moment.
He is indeed. Bit Nations is currently 2nd, and Johan is in 3rd. And this is the interesting thing. Johan in the Haas came in 3rd at Albert Park last week. And as you say, he's really proving to be quite a solid racer, isn't he?
Yeah, he is. Yep, most definitely.
This is only the 2nd race that we've seen from him, but seems to be a thinking driver. Thinks about what he's going to do, how he's going to do it.
Yeah, it seems really good with the ERS management, fuel management. And I didn't mention as well, actually got pole position in the last race, Johan, and took podium in the end. He took 3rd place. As I said, got orders of 15 points for Haas. They're going to pick up quite a number this time round. As Born Echoes gets the fastest lap from sitting in P11. He's not giving up, is he? Fair play to him.
He's definitely not giving up. Well, he might as well. He's got a clear field ahead
Exactly.
of him.
And as all the statistics are tracked, that will go on his race record, the fastest lap if he manages to keep it to the end of the race. He's the only man on the Super Softs, very young Super Softs. So I can't see anyone else taking that away.
Well, Rewind possibly, because, well, no, Rewind's only got 5 laps to go. He's okay. Mulan, he's going to be staying out there. So, yeah, I think he's pretty safe with that at this moment in time. NW Knoll is not giving up. He is still on the back of Johan in the Haas. Just over a second. So he did have DRS in the last DRS zone. He won't have it if he keeps that gap into the start-finish straight.
I just saw Knoll just touch that curve on turn 13. Almost back end almost went out, but managed to hold it.
Admit, I did draw in a breath at that point. So NW Knoll certainly looking good there, and you know, well, Mulan, he's in 6th place, but
yeah,
I don't think there's much hope for him there. He's got 16 seconds between him and Hyper Nova. So you're looking at more or less a pit if he wants to get on that podium, if either Johan or NW, well, yeah, either Johan or NW Knoll were to pit.
I think, sorry to just completely change the subject, I think ZG Swift might be under investigation for some lag issues. I just seen him sort of warp in front of Rewind. I don't quite know how that happened, he just appeared in front of him. It's rather bizarre.
Well, always dodgy when that happens. You are with Synergy PWR, People's World Racing. We're here at Bahrain for our 2018 season race 2. We're on lap 25 of 29. We've seen some real movement throughout this race, very close racing in the opening laps, a few collisions, a few bloody noses that needed to be changed. Seen some great racing here from Mulan in the Mercedes, got himself up onto the podium. Runners had a run-in, unfortunately, with Tom 123. He was in first place. Tom pitted, came out just 0.3 of a second ahead of him. Good fight going on between them, but then Mulan just misjudged it, unfortunately. Nose damage to his Mercedes, had to pit. This meant that he's dropped back down, but he's in 6th place. He could potentially, he's on softs. There's still some fight left in him. He might be able to get that 5th place.
He might do. Oh, ZG Swift again lagging up and down the start-finish straight there. A bit difficult for Rewind to commit to pass, but he's done it.
Rewind makes the move, takes 7th place from ZG Swift, clearly with connection issues. Sean Gregory, he's down in 5th. He was challenging for a podium finish, unfortunately. Again, bit of a collision and damage, had to pit. Unexpectedly, Hypernova still sitting there in 4th in the Sauber. He's really putting in a solid race, isn't he? As you said earlier, it's nice and solid.
Yeah, as I said, he's kept his nose out of trouble, and yeah, he's just another one of those drivers. He's just sort of there, isn't he? Near the front, again, possibly waiting for things to happen around him and capitalising on it.
Well, he's got Sean Gregory 5 seconds off the back of him, so clearly he's been eating into that. He's found that window. I think he's getting into that window on those softs, so he could be closing in on him quite soon. We've only got 2 laps to go. He's not going to be able to do it before the end of this race. And Tom, look at this. I mean, Tom's already built up a 20-second lead over Johan. That's another pit stop almost.
Yeah, he's going for the domination domination award early on in the season.
Absolutely. Fantastic race there. everyone else pretty much sort of even. We've got board echoes, and let's quickly run through our runners and riders before we get to the closing stages of this race. Born Echoes in the Renault there, he's down 11th place. Silver Surfer, well, he just got stuck. He moved up to 8th place, dropped back down to 10th, and he's just not able to get out of this position, really. That's pretty much it sealed, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Or Zyron in the Ferrari, putting in a great start again to this race, but not really worked out in his favour. He's down in P9. CG Swift in the Mercedes, he's down in P8. Starting to lose pace now on Rewind. Well, no, saying that, he has closed down. It was 5 seconds, so he has taken a couple of seconds out of him. He might well challenge Rewind in the final lap of this race. Rewind in 7th place. He's trying to get a move on Mulan. He's only 2.5 seconds down the road.
Oh, Born Echoes. Born Echoes has lost it.
Born Echoes is off.
We may be beyond the 95% point race. Well, it won't affect him because he's P11, so no points up for grabs anyway. Although he may not get the DNF if he can be at 95%.
Oh, well, that is unfortunate, that being the case. Sean Gregory, he's currently in 5th place. Hypernova, as we said, in 4th. NW Knoll in 3rd. Still just over that 2nd mark to Johan, but staying with him. He is staying with him. All it would take is Johan to make an error, and I'm sure NW Knoll would be more than happy to take advantage of it. He doesn't really look as if he's trying to, and he's certainly trying to close in on him, but he's just not really able to get that close, is he?
No, he can but try.
He's been maintaining around about 1.3, 1.1 seconds, and Johan just doing enough to stay ahead of him on that DRS. Coming into the final lap now. Our race leader, Tom, coming down now. Turn 13. Sorry, what am I saying? Turn 1. 5. 9. It's halfway round. Tom now. No, still 1.2 seconds off the back of Johan.
As things stand, Tom will be leading this championship by 2 points over Johan. So Johan, despite not winning the races,
yes, he will. Yes, he will. He'll be on 27 points. Lucas will be on 25 from that single win, obviously, at Albert Park last week.
Yeah,
so that will move
33,
Tom.
33 for Johan and 35 for Tom.
That will put them first and second in the Drivers' Championship. Tom now coming round to turn 13, finally. I've got the turn right. Round 14, onto the start-finish straight. And Tom, 1, 2, 3, takes the win here at Bahrain for Williams. Fantastic race. He really set the pace there, set the mark.
Yeah, brilliant drive.
Convincing win. Definitely, great job, wasn't it, Adrian? Johan takes 2nd place for Haas. NW Knoll. Oh no, NW Knoll takes 2nd place due to penalty points. So it is a 1-2 for Williams. Johan takes 3rd place on the podium. Sean Gregory takes 4th. Hypernova unfortunately loses out there. And Mulan, well, how disappointing for him. Rewind, he'll be finishing in 7th place. CG Swift will be finishing in 8th place. War Zyron in the Ferrari takes 9th. And bringing in the rear, Silver Surfer. Such a shame. He was doing so well. Started in P13, went up to P8, had some issues, dropped down to P10, and was just got stuck there, didn't he? He just couldn't move from there.
Yeah, he didn't have a didn't have a good time, did he, out there?
No, I don't think Bahrain will be on his favourites list, let's put it like that. But what a phenomenal race for us here at SynergyPWR, People's World Racing. And there we have it, a 1-2 for Williams. Tom taking the win. NW Knoll takes second place. And Haas, well, he was hoping for second, drew some penalty points. Johan 624, solid race, takes third place. Fantastic race there, really enjoyed that. How do you think about that one, Agent?
Yeah, absolutely, bloody brilliant that was. Yeah, thoroughly enjoyed that.
Absolutely fantastic, thoroughly enjoyed it. We hope you enjoyed it too. Apologies for some of the technical issues to begin with, but do stick with us. Remember, we will always be back. Next Tuesday, we have Division 2 on Tuesday evening. Next week, Wednesday evening, Division 1. And we're going to be China. Thank you very much for joining us. Say good night, Adrian, for everyone.
Yeah, good night, everyone. See you next week.
Thank you, George. Good night.